What up? So basically, today's video, we're gonna cut right into it, and it's gonna be a little different than the other ones. Basically, I wanted to talk about money, and money is its own subject. So we're gonna dedicate an entire video to money. And the thing I wanted to talk most about is that number one, for starters, money is not natural. There is like absolutely nothing natural about money. Okay. I get that we've all been brainwashed into a me type of attitude. And in that me type of attitude, everybody wants to make money because everybody has the pride associated with it. They have fear, which could be broke down to prides associated with it. Because pride in and of itself is not necessarily linked to love. Like, you can't be prideful and be loving at the same time. Like, it's impossible. So pride in and of itself is linked to fear. So if you break down your pride and be like, oh, I have pride, right? I have pride. And you break that shit down, you can come down to fear, you know. So, it's its own thing. Um, but other things, money of it itself, like, it's garbage. Does money benefit you? The answer is ultimately no. Because what money does is it separates you from nature. Um, Everything is free. By nature, everything is free. Like, all the materials to build a house, all the materials to make clothes, all the materials to make a car, all the materials to make anything and everything that you can ever buy, it's ultimately comes from nature, and it's ultimately free. Now, because of the creation of countries and governments and all these kind of things, which are also false in and of itself, um, because of the creation of these things, it has created the madness in the human culture. Madness, because now you're giving your life away for things that are essentially free. Like it's free. You're giving your life away for something that's free, and your excuse is ultimately fear because you're afraid to do what is necessary for you to have true freedom. And you live in a lie and you think that you have freedom. You say, oh, the Constitution gives me freedom, but does it actually give you freedom? Is freedom is what you're experiencing right now when you're angry? You notice all the Americans talking about freedom, none of them are happy. How can you be free without happiness? Happiness, truth, and love are all one and the same thing, okay? You cannot have happiness without love, and you cannot have love without truth, okay? It's impossible. And we're talking universal truth here. We're not talking individualized truth, and we're not talking about perceptional truth. We're talking universal truth, okay? The truth that you can't escape from no matter what your belief system is, okay? You cannot escape from universal truth. It does not matter if you do not believe in universal truth. You, in all your might, you cannot escape universal truth. Okay? That's just the reality of it. Okay? None of us can escape universal truth. Okay? It's impossible. So, when we embrace that, and instead of going against the code, we go with the code, and we realize that we're inventors, that we're creators of our world, of our universe, and that we are all coexisting together. And if we play this thing right, then everything works out. It works out regardless if you realize that it works out, but it feels really good when the energy is high, when everyone is vibrating, and we're all vibrating a high frequency. Oh, life gets wonderful. Life gets fucking fantastic, and it never goes away. And it like gets perfect. The entire life gets perfect. So, and the power is love, right? So the powers that be, the people in power, the Illuminati, the government, whoever's really in power, whatever, uh, they're not the most powerful in the world. They're not the most loving people in the world. So they don't have the natural power. Okay. And because they don't have the natural power, they realize to some extent that if things go to normal, then they're going to be somewhere in the middle somewhere. They're going to be off in the crowd, and a lot of those guys are followers by nature. I mean, they follow along their little twisted ass system, and they don't necessarily question their own twisted ass system that was created eons ago by their ancestors, because it is a twisted ass system that was created for them to follow, and they follow along their twisted ass system just as well as you follow along your twisted ass system. It's not so much that the people in power are natural leaders, because they're just as much followers as the average human being. Okay, God created mostly followers. Okay, this is just the way the creation thing works, and it's not something to get pissed off at or even act superior because this information. You're like, oh, look at all those followers. Like, no, like, yeah, like, of course God created mostly followers. You didn't understand that by design. So most people are followers by nature, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's actually beauty that comes from that. So it's going with the system instead of against it. And that's how you find your power. That's how you find true happiness. But there's going to be a time of cleansing, and there's nothing that anybody can do to stop that. It doesn't matter who the Illuminati tries to eliminate. It's going to be very, very brutal, and it's going to be very ugly. And that's only because of their karma that they have reaped. They have put themselves into this position. Okay. So they're going to get exactly what they deserve because they have been inflicting pain on you. And you may not have realized that the Illuminati has been inflicting pain on you, but the Illuminati has been inflicting pain on you since your birth. And everybody who's alive have experienced Illuminati afflicted pain. And that's something for every human being to kind of wake up and realize for themselves. But of course, the solution, since we deal with solutions on this channel, the solution, of course, is healing yourself and also stopping further pain. You have to stop the pain in the now, which may require a time of cleansing. You can call it a purge, but in reality, it's just a time of cleansing. That's all it really is. I like the word cleansing because purge is associated with nonsense. So, it's going to be a time of cleansing. It's going to be inner cleansing. And we are going to have to change things in the physical world in order to have a higher vibration. But in order to do that, we're going to also have to change things in the spiritual world. So there will be both a physical and spiritual change no matter what the powers that be has planned. There's going to be dramatic change, and it's going to be for the better because right now we're in a very low vibrational frequency, and the karma reflex is going to backfire on the powers that be. Okay, this is I'm telling you the future. It does not matter what they do. It does not matter who they kill. It does not matter any of that because it's all going to shake up. And if they kill too much of regular people, then their own people are going to rebel against them. There's only so much. This thing only plays out so many ways because you're dealing with fixed laws. So when you're dealing with fixed laws, you have to understand that there's no way that there's only so many scenarios that can happen, because you're dealing with something that's fixed. Okay. You have to understand that for yourself. And if they understood the fix, they would not position themselves in the manner in which they did, because they're on a losing side. There's things that are happening, and there's things in the spirit world that wants this world to change for the better. So when the spirit world wants something, the spirit world gets what it wants, and it's going to happen one way or the other. So however it happens, it will happen, and goodness will prevail. So there's a harmonic event that's happening, and we're all experiencing it, and it's going to be a time of cleansing. Whether how it happens, it could happen peaceably or it can happen not so peacefully. I'm leaning over on the side that's going to probably happen not so peacefully, but there is still an opportunity and chance for it to happen peacefully. So it doesn't have to end in violence. It could actually end in greatness, and something beautiful. So, I actually made this video again about money, and money is kind of the focal point of this country, the center of this country. Um, so I went into a whole prophecy there, but it's just money is its own entity, its own thing. It doesn't actually exist. It's not actually real. I know that everybody wants money, but one of the tricks I've learned is to actually focus on what money buys. So if you want a house, focus on the house and not so much the money, you know, and focus on something other than the money itself. You have to kind of focus on helping people or something like that. Like if you're in sales, you got to focus on helping people. You got to focus on what your product could bring people and can't necessarily focus about the money. So, there's that. If you want to make money, that's some solid advice. But if I'm at a point where I'm down to make money while it's here. I have a goal to make a lot of money while it's in existence. Do I think that money is always going to be existence? No. I think that one day humans are going to wise up and get rid of this money thing. But will it happen now? Will it happen within our lifetime? Who knows? I have no predictions on it. It depends on how it's diced. I always look at something like this. If it's not bringing happiness to your life, then it's bringing pain. And I think money brings most people pain in this society because of the way that it's looked at. It doesn't have to bring people pain, but because it's not fun-based, it usually brings people pain even on the high levels. I look at billionaires and stuff like that, and it's not so much that the money brings them happiness, it's the experiences that they make with the money that produces happiness. And that you have to spend your money for it to have any value in your life. That's a whole nother thing about money, is that you have to spend it. If you're holding on to money, it's never fun. You have to spend your money to have fun. Like that's the rule of cash. If you're not spending money, then it's not going to be fun for you. Like you have to realize that you have to spend the shit. Okay. Money does not do you any good sitting in a bank account. You have to actually get rid of it. So that's one of the conundrums about money as far as happiness, is that you have to spend it. It has to be spent for you to have fun. You can't have fun without spending it. So, that's just the reality of it. And that's something every human has to find out for themselves. But money does you absolutely no good if you don't spend it. So I guess I'm going to end it with that. There's a whole thing in our culture, I guess, to save money. But you have to save it. Even if you're saving it to spend it. Okay, you're saving it for a larger purpose, a larger purchase. You know what I'm saying? So that it goes both ways. Purpose, purchase. So you're saving it for a larger purchase. Okay, you're saving $20,000 so you can buy that car of your dreams, because you're ultimately spending your money. It comes back down to spending. Even if you're saving it to spend it, the end result is still you spending your money. Even if you're going to spend it on a larger purpose, you're still going to spend your money. So, money does you no good if you don't spend it. You can't take it with you when you die. You can give it to your grandkids, but even that's spending it. You can give it to your family, but even that's spending it. You're still giving it away. And that's what's going to bring you the joy. And that's going to bring them the joy by spending it, So even if you spend it on larger things, you're still spending it. And that's what's going to bring you the joy, because you're going to be like, I did that. Yeah, I bought that new boat. I bought that new house. I bought that new car. Because you're spending it. and then you're enjoying it. You got to enjoy it on the things that you spend. You got to go all out and blow it all out. So, I guess the best thing about money is getting rid of it. And, that's a double entendre. Thank you very much. I gotta scratch myself on the back because that was really good. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it on my double entendre, and I love you guys. And again, the best part about money is getting rid of it. This has been Cecil Ortega, and I love you guys with all my heart, and I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Okay, bye.